This episode of New Jersey Living is going to be very specific to one of the factors that drives demand and market values for various locations of specifically northern and central New Jersey. If you've been watching my episodes for some time, you know that we always tap into what I call the big three. And of those three, we talk about proximity to New York City. We talk about local train station, meaning a train station not in terms of distance to one's home or section of town, but train station in town. And third, and as significant to those other ones, in some ways even more significant, is school ratings. So we had someone who recently posted in the commentary, could we do something that's specific to Bergen County schools? We're going to hit the other counties as well, but I'm going to start with Bergen, not only because I received a request and I do respond and I read the comments and I do respond to the comments. This is part of that response, but also because Bergen County is really that feature prime suburban county in New Jersey to New York City. And we do have some upcoming episodes where we're going to compare the Jersey suburbs compared to like a Westchester County and Connecticut, let's say other alternatives to New York. But today we're going to look specifically at Bergen County schools, and we are going to do a breakdown of the top 10 performing school districts in Bergen County. So if this is something that you are curious about and how they impact real estate values, even if you don't have school-age children, just how is real estate impacted by school ratings? This is something you want to pay attention to, whether because you are considering buying something from an investment standpoint or just as a homeowner who wants to be in a market where you know there's always high demand. This is something that you want to really tune into and attend to. All right, so let's get this started now, and I will start the preview with number 10 coming your way. Welcome to New Jersey Living. My name is Corey Jones, and I am a licensed real estate agent in New Jersey with Coldwell Banker. I am a team leader of the New Jersey Living Group and host of New Jersey Living, the podcast. So if you're someone who is interested in learning all things New Jersey, this is the channel for you. So go ahead and click like, subscribe, and notification bell to stay updated on content like this that is coming your way. So if you are interested in real estate, places to dine, social entertainment scenes, iconic location, we have all of those items that come your way right here on this platform. If you're a buyer in the market searching, we have a buyer's guide that's available for you. Quick clip of this QR code takes you right to our buyer's guide. If you're not from the area and still just learning about New Jersey, take a look at our relocation guide. And for homeowners, even if you're not looking to sell right now, but you'd be interested to know your market value, we have a code for you as well. So this is CMA. We'll have a market analysis sent your way within 24 hours. And if you are someone who would just be curious about what a cash offer would be on your property, we have something for you as well. Click that code and I'll have a network of investors give a preliminary assessment of your property and give you a pretty on point cash offer number if you choose to just explore that type of option. No obligation whatsoever. All right, so we are now looking into specifics of the top 10 school districts in Bergen County. And part of the why of Bergen County, I explained at the beginning, is considered really that premier suburb to New York City. And the reason being is that it's not by and large, a densely populated county the way you find definitely in Hudson County, and very much so even in Essex County, particularly towards the eastern end of Essex County. Bergen, once you get outside of really Fort Lee and Cliffside Park, right there along the Hudson, you get into very, very comfortable suburbs. So a lot of commuters to New York City and New York City residents that are looking to escape that for more of a suburban lifestyle, they're coming to Bergen County, and Bergen County is one of the preferred locations because there are outstanding school districts throughout the entire county. You're really hard pressed to find a district that is not exceptionally performing, and there are a few, but most of them are very high performing. But today, this episode, we're going to focus on the top 10. All right, so we're going to dive right in right now. Top 10. And position number 10, we're going to feature a couple things. You're going to see a couple visuals come your way. One of them is going to be our typical niche.com grading on the school district itself. I'm going to be flashing up also some information from Niche as it pertains to how the market value or the housing values look for that given community. But we're also going to scroll through homes.com to give you an idea, at least of right now, what that market looks like for that given community. So you're going to see some visuals here that you definitely want to tune into. So first stop is going to be Park Ridge. All right, so Park Ridge grade, as you can see right here, is a grade of A. And what I do appreciate about niche.com, it does give a breakdown of specific grades by category that are the components that add up to that overall grade. So you see here we have academics, the parts I like to really focus on: academics, teachers, college prep, and diversity also. But they have administration, as you can see, food, sports, clubs, resources and facilities. If you're someone who, for example, you really value a school district having a great music and arts program, maybe your child is into band, or maybe your child is into the arts, be it the fine arts component of it or performing arts component of it. That's something that you'll consider sports, obviously. So these are other things that you can take into account. Some is just going to be straight academic. Many diversity is also a factor that they want to really have graded well for a school district. But Park Ridge, you can see it is an A rating. And we're going to scroll through homes.com. So as I scroll through here, you'll see it's a map of the location. You can see the different price points. Park Ridge, very much as we take note of what we see on the map and on these listings, it is an 800,000 plus kind of market. All right, so you're talking 800. We see definitely million plus properties here. The one of the lone exceptions is one that's priced just under 600, another is 659. So we see that there are some options that are in more of a modest range. They often show up in common areas as well when we're talking about those that are on the margins, if you want to call it that, of price points. But we see by and large we're 800 to a million plus, giving you that kind of idea of what the buy-in is. Location wise, Park Ridge, when you look at this on a map, it is just south of Mount Vale, which borders on the New York state line, right? So it is very much towards the northern end of Bergen County. So every township is not going to reflect that kind of price point, but the general trend, as we're going to see, there are price differences, right, between your average location that does not have exceptional schools versus those that do. All right, so that's number 10. Let's move on to number 9. Ranking at number 9 is Fair Lawn, New Jersey. This is one of those exceptions that I referred to in that first clip, where you find, certainly, relatively speaking, reasonable pricing for a Bergen County location with high-performing schools. So we see right here, niche.com, it is an A-rated district, all right? And once we take a look over at our homes.com list, take a look at the map itself that shows different homes throughout the township. These are all active on the market. I know normally we are looking at, in most of my episodes, we're looking at recent sales, right? Just to be able to understand where things are selling. These are consistently 600s, 700s. We get a few that may be in the 5s, but this is a situation where we see far more modest prices than some of the other locations. With Fair Lawn is very, very close towards that western edge of Bergen County, not far at all from Pascack County. So there's some local townships that are in Pascack that are right there by Fair Lawn. Patterson is one, Hawthorne is another. So there is, just from the aesthetics of Fair Lawn, certainly a little different than some of the other townships that we're talking about as well. Because when you get further tucked in, I'll put it this way, think about being in a location where you might be on a main road and it not be a highway necessarily, but it's a main thoroughfare that goes through the neighborhood. And that's going to be priced differently than a home that is tucked away, totally not on a main road at all. You're going to have to drive back there, and you're only going to drive back there if you live there. Like homes in that type of setting, if we're talking same square footage or very similar condition, the one that's tucked away in the neighborhood is going to be priced more attractively, right? And when I say more attractive for the seller, that is. It's going to be a very much more of a premium price point than that on the main road. Think about that in terms of overall location of a town. So as you can see with Fair Lawn, there is Route 208, which merges into Route 4 that takes you all the way into the city via the George Washington Bridge. Major thoroughfares passing through town. That's very different than what we just looked at with Park Ridge, right? That is further tucked away, no major roads going through, quieter community. Think about it in that context as to one of the reasons why just aesthetically there's a bit of a different look, and there's definitely a different price point from one to the other. But very, very high performing schools still will draw a level of demand. And that's what we're going to find for a location like this right here in Fair Lawn. All right, we're down our first two. Let's move on to number 8. Ranking at number 8 is Ramapo Indian Hills Regional High School District. So a couple things to take note of here. One of them is regional. Regional schools, usually they are high schools, not always the case. Sometimes it's the entire district, but in many cases it's a high school. It combines multiple townships that all feed into one regional high school. So that's one thing to consider. And secondly, this is the first of several regionals that we are going to see on the top 10 list. We're going to see that I want to say it's a slight majority. We'll take a quick look at the end once we wrap up and get an accurate count. But I'd say a slight majority are regionals and not to a specific township. Ramapo Indian Hills is comprised of students in high school that are coming from 3 townships: Franklin Lakes, Oakland, and Wyckoff, all of them on that far western edge of Bergen County. So given the 3 locations, we're not going to do breakdowns on all 3. I'm always, for the regional districts, going to select just one. And in this case, I selected Franklin Lakes. So let's take a look at our homes.com preview of the market. And it is quite an eye-opener for Franklin Lakes. You see right off the bat, 7-figure price points, 3 millions, 4 millions. We drop down and we see some 2s. Really, your median of what is on market right now is going to be somewhere in the high 1, close to $2 million mark. And likewise is going to be the average. They're very, very premium, if you want to call it that, right? Premium homes at premium prices for a Franklin Lakes. And you're going to see, as I'm talking about this, I'm not always going to refer to it directly, but I'm flashing up also the data points that we have on these communities as it pertain to your typical price points within that community. Case in point here for Ramapo Indian Hills, we are flashing up your real estate costs. And again, this is a niche.com type of metric. So you can get all kinds of metrics on niche.com, not just schools, but on the real estate, on all aspects of the community itself. Very good resource to get insights on different communities. But you see right here, what is unique? Median home value. All right, median home, I thought it would be one high one, but it actually is lower one, 1.135, right, million. And we see 80% of the market and when I say market, I'm talking about homes altogether, not just those that are listed for sale. Listed for sale is a different kind of prospect, all right, or different conversation. So on the market, as I look at that 1.135, I'm not factoring in, when I say that, all the homes in the township. I'm factoring what I see live on the market. So the live market median would, in fact, now that I'm thinking about it, be closer to 2 million. It'll be high 1 point something. But this number that we're seeing right here is reflecting the entire township, whether something's for sale or not for sale. All right. So your median home value of the entire town, 1.1. Okay. And median home values, again, this is not on market, but 80% are going to be over 750,000. Gives you an idea of what type of shopper or where you need to be if you're looking to shop in Franklin Lakes. Coming in at number 7 is Pascack Valley High School. And this school, again, is regional. The school is comprised of residents of Hillsdale, Rivervale, Woodcliff Lake, and Montvale. For Pascack Valley, we see obviously another A rating, but it's worth noting in this case, when we look at 3 critical factors when it comes to education, academics, teachers, and college prep, A+ on all 3 of those indicators, right? We see a C+ on the diversity side, so we know that it is not, the greatest. It's not going to rank that high when it comes to diversity. Purely academics doesn't get much better than A+ in those 3 categories. For this particular regional scenario, I went with Rivervale to take a look at the market in that specific location. So we see here, there are plenty of options that reach into 7 figures. So you'll see quite a few 1.7s, 1.8s, 1.5, 1.3. That is very much, and again, this is active market. This is not the median that we're going to take a look at in just a second of all the homes in the township. But this is absolutely more of a $1 million buy if you're looking in the Rivervale market right now today. When we take a look at the real estate costs, and I'll flash that up here also as we're still scrolling through, 42% of homes have a median value. Again, that's on market or not off the market, or not on market. Could be off or on. The median value is 750 or more for 42% of the community. Half of them are priced somewhere between 400 and 749. All right. So a very much a premium community when we are considering price point for that location. And now that we are outside of like that Fairlawn experience that we had at number 9, we're going to see a lot of this repeating pattern moving forward. The number 6 ranked district in the state of not state of New Jersey, but Bergen County is Mahwah. So we scroll through Mahwah, and Mahwah is on that far northwestern edge. You'll see, just based on the map, there's a substantial part of the town geographically that is just wooded. It's all green. Most of the residences are more mid and eastern part of the town. And there are some affordable options because there are condos and townhomes that are options in that 400, high 3 up to 500 range. As you can see right here, as we scroll through, the majority of these single family options are going to be 800 up to over 1 million for that market. Also keep in mind that not all of these locations will have a local train station as well. So this is just, again, no regional situation here, just individual township, but your demand because of the train station factor definitely factors in for Mahwah. And that it's on that far northwestern edge of the county also factors in. So not far, just north of Franklin Lakes, honestly, which is a very, very high-end community, but not as much inventory that's going to be priced really at that more extreme, if you will, on the high end of virtually everything in $1 million. So a little bit of a blend for that community for Mahwah, again, coming in at number 6. And now we get to the top 5. And the 5th of those 5 is what I consider probably the last of the really modest price locations with top ranked schools. for Bergen County, and that is Rutherford. So Rutherford, we can see, carries that A rating. We see far more diverse than what we were looking at in some of the previous locations. B+ with diversity, A+ college prep, A+ teachers, A academics. So very, very strong performing academic wise, with more diversity than some of the comparable higher performing districts in the county. This one, as we take a look, you'll notice right away that for Rutherford, we see a lot of prices that are 6-figure and not 7, right? So we don't see nearly as many millions, right? We're seeing 700s, we're seeing 800s, gets up to 9. You can even find comfortably in the 600s for Rutherford. And I'll flash up there as well, just that median home price. You can see median home price, $572,000, with 67%, 2/3 of the homes in the township, whether on market or off market, are priced somewhere between, or valued somewhere between $400,000 and $750,000. Very, very much by New Jersey standards, affordable to be in a location very, very close to the city. Train station right there downtown. If you haven't seen my Rutherford episode, it's definitely worth a look. Not at all what I consider or would call urban in terms of the aesthetic of downtown, but you have sight of the Manhattan skyline, train to get you in to the city in a breeze, drive into the city, and I'm not going to call it a breeze when you can factor in traffic, but distance is next to nothing. All right, so that is, I would say, one of the more attractive options if you are looking for a more budget-friendly option of having a very, very good school district in a location close to New York City. At number 4, we have one of only 2 regional districts in the top 5. All right, so we're gonna get that final count at the end, like I promised a little earlier. Number 4 is a regional called Riverdale. All right, so Riverdale Regional School District are 2 towns comprised of it, Oradell and River Edge, and they combined them to come up with Riverdale. All right, so we see here A+ for all of those 3 core academic areas: academics, teachers, college prep. Not as diverse, what comes with a B- right there, but the clubs and activities have an A- and A for sports. That's a really good combination. While I don't have an individual episode on Oradell, I do have an episode on River Edge, so that one is certainly worth a look. We're going to take a look at River Edge, the market at homes.com. We're going to take a scroll through, and River Edge, you will find a good number of $700,000 and $800,000 price points, but you can find options that are, as you'll see here, that are in the 5s and the 6s. In many cases, if a smaller ranch or a Cape-style home can be purchased, some maybe 400 or 500. A lot of developers will do build-ups. They'll full tear down, build up from there. Like you can see, one of them I saw already popped up his land for $529 with a home on it, because those properties will sell. Any new construction, doesn't have to be huge, massive home, but a new construction colonial, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths in Rivervale is going to sell at about $1.1 million and up. So if a developer can find an opportunity to buy something at about $550, even invest $350 into it, they're gonna, particularly if they have their own construction team, it pays off. All right, so that's one of the locations that you will find that. So we have a little bit of a mixed bag. River Edge, not a very large town, right there neighboring to Paramus, close to shopping, very convenient to get to the train station. It's a great little town. So this one, I won't call those prices modest, but it's reasonable given the county location to buy into River Edge. And of course, like we are with the other ones, we're flashing up the overall median real estate values for that particular township. So we are at number 4. We're now getting to our top 3. I already kind of gave away. And in the top 3, we will have one more regional, and we have 2 that are individual single townships ranking in the top 3. Now, as we get into the top 3, this is a reminder that I often reference in a lot of my episodes when we get to the topic of education. the state of New Jersey is consistently ranked as one of, if not the top performing state in the country when it comes to public education. So when we are viewing these rankings, and some of these you can not only see where it ranks in the county, you also see where it ranks in the state of New Jersey. And if it ranks top 10 in the state of New Jersey, that given district, that means that really this is one of the top performing school districts in the country, not just the state of New Jersey, in the country. I'm going to point this out as we look into Tenafly. Tenafly ranked number 3. I do have a Tenafly episode. Check that out when you have the opportunity. Tenafly comes in at number 3 in Bergen County, ranking number 6 in the state of New Jersey. A+ rating. We get to see some of those sub ratings right here. And when we take a look, we're going to take a quick browse of the Tenafly market, and you see just based on the map that it is right along the Hudson River, so very close to New York City. We see again the $1 million marks, right? So you're seeing 2, 3, 4 million. You'll find a few that are just under $1 million. This is absolutely a premium market because of the reputation of the schools, as well as the proximity to New York City. Now, when you talk about or look at the townships that are along the Hudson River on the Bergen County side, for the most part, there's not train access there. New Jersey Transit doesn't run that close along the Hudson. But there is very, very easy bus access and, of course, driving into the city. So individual school district that is really, really high performing. That reflects over to the real estate costs. So you see that median home value at $951, and almost 75% of the homes in that town valued at $750 or higher. And that's at number 3. Number 2 is going to be a very familiar name. There are some locations in New Jersey that warrant multiple views on my channel. So on New Jersey Living, we will take a deep dive into markets that are just very large markets, like Newark and like Jersey City, for example. Just because of the size of these cities, there's going to be multiple just to cover the different neighborhoods and what have you. But then there are the more suburban townships, and if there are 2, there is reason for it. Ridgewood, that comes in at number 2, is one of those. As we see, ranking number 2 in Bergen County, ranking number 4 in the state of New Jersey with an A+, having A+ as academic teachers and college prep, clubs, activities, and sports all ranking with A+ as well. Ridgewood is one of the more unique and fascinating towns in the state of New Jersey. All right, it's one of the finest downtown scenes that you're going to see. And if you just, again, take a visit to my most recent Ridgewood episode, which was only probably about a month or so ago, it's worth another look if you've seen it already. If you haven't seen it, definitely tune in. So we look for Ridgewood, and as you would expect, there are multiple $1 million plus home options. You do have opportunities to buy in Ridgewood at a more modest price. There are capes and ranches that can be purchased more in a 6.5 and 600 type of range. Majority of the inventory that's active on market is going to be more that 800 plus, as we're seeing right here as we scroll through homes.com. When we take a look at the median home value, that's $858. Again, this is inclusive of both homes on the market and those that are off and that on market. And 63% of the community is priced or valued at $750 or higher. All right, so that is our highest ranked individual non-regional township in terms of schools is Ridgewood, New Jersey. And then there was one. Number 1 ranked district in the state of New Jersey. Again, one of the highest performing school systems in the union, right? In the entire country, New Jersey always ranks up there. At number 1, drum roll, we have Northern Valley Regional High School ranking number 1 in Bergen County and also ranking number 1 in New Jersey. And that means this district is one of, if not the highest performing public school, not getting into private and parochials and academies you can find sprinkled throughout the country, but public school districts in the country, in the state, in the county. All right. So this regional is comprised of the township of Gloucester, Demarest, Harrington Park, Hallworth, Northvale, Norwood, Old Tappan or Tappan. All of these comprise to go to one location, being Northern Valley. All right. So Northern Valley, A+. All right. So there's a lot of A's to spread around on their rating with a few B's that are sprinkled in. And for this particular location, I chose, my trend was to go towards the township that had the larger population. Many times they're very much comparable one to the other, but I chose Gloucester in this one. So Gloucester, we see, again, $1 million price points. You're going to see there is a section of town that's further west that you will find more bargains, if you will, for the township that are priced under $1 million. As you get towards the eastern section, those which by comparison in most of your Bergen County locations, sections of town that tend to have the larger lot sizes will also have larger property sizes, which also will have larger price points. And those that have the smaller homes and smaller lots will be priced accordingly. So with that, you see the difference in section of town gives you different outcomes in terms of where the prices fall. And so for Gloucester specifically, we can see kind of that same kind of split. You have 42% of the homes are priced at $750,000 or higher. The other half fall between $400,000 and $750,000. So this is very much a for Bergen County standards, a balanced market in that you can buy something under $1 million in one of these, neighborhoods. And again, this is just Gloucester. This is not all the other locations, but there are opportunities to own there under $1 million. So this gives you an idea of our top 10 and what that looks like in terms of demand. I told you I was going to get a count of regional versus individual standalone school districts. And in the top 10, regionals have 1, 2, 3, 4. So very even split, almost perfectly even. 4 of the top 10 regional and 6 were standalone individual townships. Now, it's worth going in to niche.com online just to take a look at the top 25. It has a full top 25. Those that fell just outside of the top 10 include Glen Rock, neighboring right there to Ridgewood. Fort Lee is at number 12. Paramus is at 13. Cresskill is at 14. Leonia is at 15. So there are some very, very still well accomplished districts that are on this list. And I'm going all the way down to number 25. Just curious what that was. And that was Lodi. Lodi was at 25, right? So, so this was very interesting just to kind of take a look at comparing regional to standalone districts in part, but also seeing where real estate values look like in some of these high performing districts, which comes at a premium as you would expect. So thank you for tuning in today. I'm hoping that this was very informative for you. If you by chance matriculated from any of these districts, want to share some of your experiences, your insights, maybe you taught there, right? Maybe you just lived there and you didn't go to the schools, but you can speak to living in that town. Please do drop a comment right here. Again, click like, subscribe, notification bell for more content like this that is coming your way. We're going to have some episodes dealing with different topics with New Jersey compared to some other areas where people are considering moving to or living in that gives you that alternative outside of New York. So definitely appreciate everyone who is giving contributions to the channel. And by the way, if you're hanging around, you're going to be the first to hear on this particular episode that t-shirts are back. All right. So if you happen to like free t-shirts, message me right here in the commentary and get this, guys. I have to know where to send it, right? So I always respond to just email me. I don't want anyone putting their address on the comment section, but you just have to email me so I know where to mail the shirts. There's no shipping, nothing like that. I just mail it to you. All right. So that's just a little thank you and maybe a welcome, right, to the channel, because you want to be able to gain some of these insights that we try to provide from week to week. So thanks again for tuning in. In the meantime, stay safe and stay tuned to New Jersey Living.